Hey, this is my video on National Communism 666. I made a channel called National Communism 666, and this is my other channel, and this is mainly on vampires, and other, supernatural, myths and, um, esoteric knowledge, and this is mainly on vampires. And mainly what I want, this is my first video I made for it, and mainly what I want to talk about is um vampires in the occult sense, or actual real life modern day vampires, or vampirism. Mainly, this is a reference to people who need to take psychic energy from others, whether through blood or through psychic energy. In some cultures it's called chi. In other cultures in the Far East it's been called prano, but it's need to be taken either through blood or through psychic energy or through chi. Um, some people say they can take it through sex sexually, but my main way of taking it, my main um, way of draining people's energy through blood, and it's a better conduit. It's a better way of draining that energy from them, rather than just trying to basically, pull it out of them, pull it out of the air. It's easier to do that. So I take your chi through blood, and blood is, and sometimes I get sick, if I don't drink blood. I've gotten thirsty, so I have to drink blood to get that energy. Vampires also, in a deeper sense, is someone who is keen to the occult knowledge, esoteric knowledge. Is a creature of the night, more or less. And a vampire is someone who also has a certain lifestyle, such as me. I like the hair, the clothes, the um, I like night. I like that kind of thing. I like castles and haunted castles and coffins and haunted mansions and stuff in Europe and Transylvania and places. And I'm big on that kind of thing. I'm basically um, Luciferian, um, Satanist, and I should have went through this on my other channel, but this is a new channel. But vampires often are keen in the occult knowledge. Um, but I consider myself a superior human, not superior, not in a supernatural sense, or even on a sort of reactionary level, because I talk a lot about national socialism and the occult and the root race theory. I don't see it, but I don't see a racial sense either. I see more of a intellectual, spiritual sense. I'm superior to, I think, your average human being, average American at least. But yeah, I am a vampire, Luciferian vampire. Have been for really all my life, as far as the part about energy and stuff like that goes. But as relates to Luciferianism and spirituality, I have been a follower of the left hand path since I was 12 years old. A lot of things got me into it. Um, the song I showed you was a wrestler by the name of Gangrel. Him in the Ministry of Darkness, old WWF, which was good even up till 2006 when it was called WWE, which it just started sucking. But that was some of the stuff that first got me into the dark side, or the darker side of nature and of life, or of the mind. A few years ago I started learning about Aleister Crowley, and sort of snowballed from there. Um, but I'm big on vampirism. The first thing to get me into it was the flashback scenes. Angel. There was a show about a vampire It was like a spin-off from Buffy or something. And I watched it when I was 13, saw it, and that really started getting me into vampires. Um, but I've always been into darker things. I'm also, but it's not only darkness. I also have somewhat of an angelic side to my spiritual approach to spirituality. For example, I'm interested in sun worship and constellations and the precession of the equinoxes and so on. I don't know if you know this, a lot of people don't know this, but Jesus Christ of the Christian faith is actually the sun. And if you look up Zeitgeist as well as some stuff on Jordan Maxwell, that will go better into explaining it. I'm interested in a lot of secret societies, such as the mother of all secret societies, the Freemasons. Um, I also like the Illuminati, which supposedly came out of the Freemasons, as well as, um, for example, Skull and Bones, Bohemian Grove. I like the Church of Satan. I don't like the Ku Klux Klan. They're not, to me, they're just a boring group. They're nothing important. I don't, think they're like, any threat to anyone. I'm not saying like that, but I just don't see them as of any importance. Though the first era Klan was more like a gothic club for upper class, sort of aristocratic, um, white dudes in the South. Um, what they would do is they would dress up like ghosts and they would go on what they called night rides, and they had wizards and cyclops and blah 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 blah. Back then it was kind of interesting. Then it turned violent and they closed it down, and ever since then they restarted it up, and ever since then they suck. But that's my opinion on them, you know. But I'm very into Illuminati, Church of Satan, Freemasons, and blah blah blah, so on so on so on. Sufism, or a version of Islamic spiritualism, connected with Islam. I'm interested in other things such as other Eastern forms of mental spiritual discipline. For example, Zen and a lot of that stuff. I'm very much into voodoo, um, and all kinds of stuff. Jewelry. I'm very into Astatu, or the Odinist faith, the faith of the Nordic people during the pre-Christian as well as the early Christian era. All that kind of stuff I'm very into. The Kabbalah, Kabbalistic knowledge, summoning Raziel and so on, and the lead angel and the so on, and the levels of human spirituality, and that kind of thing. But to me, that's a good explanation as to what vampirism is, and that is why I would consider myself a vampire. Peace 666. Peace vampire worldwide 666.